leg leaving on that fucking nigga shit. Nigga bitch and I pass it to the click. I say, see me, I don't got no time for no bitch. I just get it for the bros, I'm just worried about them tips. I'm a side call, little nigga, I'ma stay wild. Hide nigga, I belong in a dog pound. Side call, little nigga, I'ma stay wild. Hide nigga, I belong in a dog pound. Fuck a bitch and then I put it in a bitch throat. Never give a bitch your phone, that's a no-no. Off tops, new chain in my...
Hammer fired and striker fired. What's the difference? Which one should you choose? Let's talk about it. This is a Beretta 92 FS. Some might call it an M9. But this is a hammer fired pistol. As you can see, it has an external hammer on the back of it. Now, hammer fired pistols come in 3 configurations: double action, single action, or a combination of both, double action and single action. The one I have in my hand right here is double action and single action. So it has 2 trigger pulls. The double action is the first initial trigger pull. So it's a long, smooth, heavy trigger pull. Now after that happens, the slide reciprocates, goes back forward, and now the hammer is cocked, and now it's in single action only. Or not single action only, excuse me. It's in single action. Speaking of single action only, what is that? So single action only, it's usually on like a 1911. I don't have any other pistols I can think of on the top of my head. Single action only requires the shooter to manually cock the hammer back, and then you're ready to go. And when you shoot it, it'll automatically cock itself again from the slide reciprocating. Now that's single action only. Double action only is just the very long and heavy ass trigger pull. And that's your only trigger pull. I think that's the worst one. That's just my opinion. I think if you do get a hammer fired pistol, I would recommend one that is double action / single action, so you can have both 2 trigger pulls. Oh, and I also recommend, if you do get a hammer fired pistol, get one with a decocker. I know some people do it like this, where like they'll manually like put it down. I personally don't, due to I feel like I'm retarded, and I feel like I would just accidentally have it slide out of my hand and fucking pop a round off. So definitely decocker. That's what I think. Now, striker fired pistols, they have a internal hammer, and it's always cocked. So that means that this is just one single trigger pull. There is no like 2 trigger pulls or whatever. But the trigger pull is very mushy, very mushy, and then it has a wall. And then you press even further, and then it breaks. And that's the trigger pull. Now, usually striker fired pistols, they'll have like a little safety, trigger safety. Glock's, like, what is it called? Safe action trigger. That's what it's called. But like basically, if you don't have your full finger on the trigger, it won't go back. I personally like the Glock trigger pull. I know I'm a freak, but that's just me. I like the trigger pull. But this is just because it's a Gen 2, and like it's broken in. Now, which one should you get? Should you get the hammer fired or the striker fired? That is completely up to you. I think it comes down to personal preference and what, pick one and just stay with it. That's what I say. I carry a Glock 17 to work every day. Usually I'll carry a Glock 17. Sometimes if I'm going out to the town, I'm about, and I'm like all spiffied up in my suit and whatever, looking all gay and shit, I'll carry the Beretta. I like both. I train with both. I train more with the Glock 17 though, because I carry that more. But again, it's up to personal preference. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. And make sure you subscribe. Also hit that bell button. You already know the deal. No pickle. I'm just going to stare at the camera now.